David's show today. And in our segment, I begin our presentation with a scripture, yes, from the book of Psalms 25, verse 28, that says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." So you can imagine, even the Bible recognizes the fact that if you cannot control your emotions, if you cannot control the feelings, your reactions to people, you are like a city that is broken into and left without walls. Basically, anything comes, anything goes. And so today, even as I begin our segment, we are going to be talking about how do you overcome this aspect of lacking emotional intelligence. We've talked already about being able to understand who you are in terms of your personality, understanding your emotions and how to manage those emotions. One of the ways to develop emotional intelligence is to manage your negative emotions. We all go through negative emotions like anger. You want to feel some level of pride. Sometimes you want to feel like you're the best, in the crowd. And so how do you overcome these emotions? You must learn to manage them. There are times you meet people that are, maybe for lack of a better word, we say they are impossible to deal with. So instead of cutting corners with them, when you see them, you avoid them. Sometimes it's in the workplace and you cannot avoid them. What do? Learn to deal with them. Learn what are their weak points and their strong points. Learn how to avoid confrontations that are not necessary. So learn how to manage negative emotions. If you're a person that is, you sort of have these outbursts of anger, you're hot-tempered, learn how to manage your temper, because temper is something that some people will say, I'm predisposed to being an angry person. But at the end of the day, you can manage that anger because it is doable. I believe it is doable. I like what an example that one marriage counselor used to give and would say, if you get really annoyed and you want to say something that you might regret, take a sip of water and do not swallow that water. And within that process, you will not say something that you will regret. The other thing is walk out. Just take a walk. Vent to yourself, but do not vent to the people. Because later on, you'll be having to apologize, say, I never meant to say so. So learn to manage your negative emotions. Which other way can we develop our emotional intelligence? It is by being mindful of our vocabulary. There are things that people say and later, actually not later, that becomes the very beginning of the end of another relationship. I'm not so sure whether the English teachers would agree with that statement, but basically what I'm saying is there is a word that you can speak that is so, it's a cutting remark, let me say that. Like when some people tell others, you're so fat, Kwani, have you been given an order for meat in a butchery or something? There are people that give really hurtful statements. Or some will ask, yani uliona utoke home hivo? The way you're dressed, hakuna mtu angekwambia you're not well dressed. So there are statements that we should avoid because in the long run, they mess up friendships, they mess up relationships, they even mess up, customers in our businesses, because like I said some time back, do not size up your customer. Sometimes you don't have even to say it verbally. It's just by your eyes you're saying so much. As we move to point number 3, you need to also know your stressors. What are your stressors? At a personal level, I am not a very good last-minute person. I like to do things systematically. I like to do things early in good time. I like to plan. So if I know maybe in the next 10 days, on the 9th day there's a deadline, I begin from day 1. There are people that work well day 8, 3 hours before day 9, and they will still accomplish the task, and they will not be stressed. That doesn't work for me. So please understand what are some of your stressors so you avoid being stressed and in the process stress everybody else around you. So if you're this person that, being last minute affects you, your adrenaline goes up, you're stressed out, avoid doing things last minute. We also need to move on to the point where we talk about bouncing from adversity. There are people that take forever to come back from a difficult situation. One of the things I've discovered in this life is something will always happen that will affect you negatively. Nobody is immune to disaster. Nobody is immune, especially right now. We're in the pandemic. We are moving out of the pandemic. That's my belief. I believe things are not as bad as they were when it all started. And everybody in some way has been affected. Some have lost their jobs. Others have been, the rent is piling up. Kids are not going to school. Some parents used to depend on the food that was cooked in school for their children to eat. Others come from dysfunctional families, so the kids are affected. Their father is a drunkard. Mom is just, not earning enough. All the stress is on everybody. And so if you're not emotionally intelligent, you may have all this. In fact, let me say on a sad note, this has been a time when, according to a survey that has been done, gender-based violence in homes has been at an all-time high. So you're like, does it mean we cannot live with each other, yet we are family? But here is a man who's been out the whole day trying to get food for the family and comes back home empty-handed. The children are looking and they're wondering, what are we gonna eat? The mom is looking, what are we gonna eat? The worst part is when the man beats the wife because there's no food, and yet the guy did not bring food home. Recently, there was a story in one of the counties in Kenya, a very sad story, but thank God it ended well. This lady was boiling stones to cheat the kids or to just deceive the children that food is coming. And so the kids would sometimes have to sleep hungry. It was really a sad story, but thank God for Kenyans. They came in handy and they really helped that family. And I think, even as I just digress a bit from the topic, that is why it's good sometimes to think about your neighbor. Think about that person that doesn't have anything. Instead of buying a new outfit, this is not the season. I know not everybody may agree with me, but this is not the season to buy new outfits, new shoes. This is the time to say, is there someone sleeping hungry? Is there a widow somewhere that may not know what to give their children? And let's think about one another. So bouncing back from adversity is very important in this sense, because everybody has their downtime. Everybody has their downtime. Even those people that have money. There was someone that was saying, and I found this really hilarious. They were saying that there are guys who are so depressed because they've not been able to travel to London to do shopping in Paris because all the planes are grounded. And I said, wow, what a source of depression. While for another one, it's like, give me that money and I will shop for my family for an entire month. And that is life. There are people that were traumatized because they couldn't go take their family out for holiday or something like that. And I thought to myself, what a source of depression, because for them, that's their life, but somebody else cannot put food on the table. The second last point is exercise self-regulation. There are many times, basically we all love to just go wild and do what we want, but emotional intelligence says try to stay within self-regulation in terms of the body can sleep. If you give it permission, it can sleep unnecessarily long. You can indulge in terms of overeating. You can indulge in terms of talking too much, even when the people that are listening to you are tired, and you cannot sense that these people are already tired. So exercise self-regulation in your life as you deal with people around you. Today, it's not so much about the customer, but it's general, how to develop emotional intelligence. And as we conclude, sharpen your social skills. Every human being is a social being, and definitely, if you don't sharpen your social skills, it may work against you. So learn to sharpen your social skills, because this works everywhere. Recently, someone wrote a very interesting article that said, your network is your net worth. Show me your friends, and I will show you the kind of a person you are. Show me the people you hang around, and I will tell you, I can predict your future for you based on the people you hang around with. So don't say, I'm all good by myself. You need a network. It may not be a large network. It may not be a million people. It may not be so many people. But have a small clique of people that you can call on anytime, people that accept you for who you are, people that don't judge you because of your weaknesses, but they can stand with you and help you in this journey of life. And so I do hope you've learned something in terms of managing your emotions. We will continue in the next segment. But even as we wind up, please remember you need to manage your negative emotions, because positive emotions are always welcome anytime. And then you need to be mindful of your vocabulary. Do not use words that hurt people. You do not tell people cutting remarks that the legacy you leave in their lives is really negative. And then know the things that stress you, bounce back from adversity. Do not hang in there in the negativity. And then, of course, exercise self-regulation in your life. And the final one we said, it is that you need to sharpen your social skills. It's very important, because your network is your net worth. So have a lovely time. Please remember to share, subscribe, and also like. God bless you so much.